Hello learners, welcome to the class again. I'm your teacher Renuka Verma and this is the official YouTube channel of Department of English, Government College, Sirohi. So we have begin with the prose section in the previous class, and we have done one of the essays which was of Youth and Age by Lord Bacon. And in today's class we're gonna talk about the essay The Spectator Club, which is by Richard Steele. So Spectator Club is a group of 5 members who belong to the different sections of the society. This essay was published in the magazine The Spectator, one of the best magazines of the period of 18th century, of the times of 18th century. In this essay, Steele has given an account of the members of the club. We have we'll have to study about the 6 members, which are Sir Roger de Coverley, Captain Sentry, Sir Andrew Freeport, Will Honeycomb, the clergyman, and the student of law. So here we are given 6 members of the club. In the first section of the essay, Steele talks about a very nice and good-hearted gentleman of the group, who is Sir Roger de Coverley. The people who knew about the county of Sir Roger knew Sir Roger very well. So he talks about the qualities and the characteristics of Sir Roger de Coverley, and Steele says that he was a man of extraordinary nature and had a good sense. He is a kind of a person who finds fault with the ways of the world, but this very sceptic nature never made him any enemy. So he was friendly with everyone around him. So he had a unique capacity to please others. Sir Roger, he again talks about his personal life. Sir Roger was a bachelor because he was disappointed in the love of a beautiful widow. And before this disappointment, Sir Roger was a normal, happy young man. So, after the widow duped him, he became very serious, and gradually his joviality returned. So, now he talks about the way he dresses up. So he wore a coat and a jacket of a cut, which was in fashion at the time. So he was a fashionable person too, a good-hearted man who fell in love with a widow, and the widow duped him, and that is why he became serious for a while, but gradually he regained his jovial nature. So his age was 56 years, but he was quite hale and hearty. So here's Richard Steele is giving the details of the club members of the club. Actually, Richard Steele himself belonged to the club he is mentioning. So to talk about the first person, he is given the characteristics details of the very popular and very famous person of the group, who is Sir Roger de Coverley. So what we get to know about his character, that he is a good-natured person, a very jovial person who was deceived by a widow with whom he fell in love, and then again gradually he gradually came out of the trauma, and he became normal again, and his jovial nature, his bubbly nature came again. So he is talking about his good nature, the way he dresses up, he talks to his servants well, and he treats all the people around him very well, and he was also the justice of the quorum and showed his judicial abilities on the hair of the justice at a quarter session. So he was a very just and judicial kind of a person who was in the quorum of the judicial board. Then moving on to the another member, Steele talks about Uh, he is talking about the next person, who is Sir Andrew Freeport. So Andrew Freeport again was a good person. Uh, he was a good businessman of London, and he was very laborious, and he was very skilled and experienced in business, and his knowledge of commerce was very extensive. He had his own ideals of the ways of enlarging a country's trade. So he believed in hard work, diligence, and industry, and he believes that alone diligence and industry can help the country to gain things of permanent value. So he is talking about that he was a good and very skilled businessman, and then he also talks about uh, his knowledge, that he knew very short maxims, and he had a unique art of speech. So he was a very good orator also, and he was a self-made person and believed that England too could become richer than other kingdoms by methods which had so benefited him. So he believes that the method and the ways that he used to prosper in business can help London and England to prosper in trade. Okay, so he was a good businessman. So earlier we had Sir Roger de Coverley. So he was a good hearted man and a very judicious kind of a person, and he was wronged in love by a widow, and he is a person who was not happy with the ways of the world, but still everybody loved him. And in the next section we meet Sir Andrew Freeport, who is a businessman, and he is a very skilled person who believes that his own skillful, if employed by the government of England, it can make the country prosper like him. So next he talks about the another companion of the club, who is a lawyer, and he is a bachelor, and he was a man of sharp wit and clear understanding. Then he talks that he chose his occupation rather to obey the direction of his old father than to incline to his own tendencies. So again we meet a lawyer. In the earlier earlier section we met a judge. Okay, and now we have a lawyer who became lawyer. He chose the occupation of a lawyer to obey his father. Then again, the next quality he talks about the lawyer is that he is a he had philosophical traits, and he understood the philosophers like Aristotle and Longinus very well. And he also talks about his skill in reading the books, his knowledge, that he liked to read books which were not of the age he lived. So he used to read the books who belonged to to other ages. That means his choice of books was very extraordinary, and he liked reading. He was familiar with the writings, customs, actions, and manners of ancient writers. So he was very interested in the ancient writers, which made him a keen observer of the worldly affairs, which made him a little philosophic also. Okay, so he was a good critic. He is a good lawyer, a good critic, and a good philosopher. Okay, and his real hour of business was the time of the play. The presence of an able critic among the audience would rouse the actors to give the best performance possible. So he was again a good critic, a good philosopher, and a bookworm who used to indulge in reading the books of the past, of the ancient age, and he was a good lawyer also. Then okay, so we have met with the 3 of the members of the club. In the next class we will be doing the another 3 members. Enough for today. Thank you.